And yes, absolutely, a round of applause is deserved, well deserved on her efforts, not just for employees here at Harris Center, but for workers across Harris County. So I want to kick it off by passing it to her.
Can you guys, will you catch me here? What's the best way? Yeah? Wonderful. Okay, well, so thank you, Seth. Thank you so much. Yeah, and everybody who's here, I really appreciate it. And I was just talking to some of the workers that work in the Harris Center, and we have somebody who does therapy for little kids, obviously casework for their families, somebody who works in intake and the most intensive hospitalization when people come in right after a crisis, somebody that helps with transfers from one unit to the other. And it really hits home for me because when I was hospitalized in August through October around, I interacted with these exact kinds of people, minus the children's therapist, but actually my therapist also treated children, so there's that. So I just think it's wonderful that these folks are working together to make sure that they have better conditions for themselves, which ultimately allows them to provide better care for their patients. And so in Texas, a lot of people hear the word union and they tend to get nervous. So what does it mean that the Harris Center, the Mental Health Authority, is forming a union? It doesn't mean that all of a sudden mental health workers are going to strike or that they're going to get stuck in arbitration, because Texas is not a union-friendly state. They do not have the right under Texas law to do that. What it does mean is that Harris Center employees, these mental health workers, will have a unified voice to speak with when they talk to management. Unions also does not mean that workers are coming to management with all kinds of impossible demands. Let me put this into real terms about what these kinds of unions help achieve, both for workers and for patients. In Austin and Travis County, mental health workers unionized. They came to their management with security concerns. Both sides worked together to hire a security guard and dedicated front desk staffer. They worked with management to create a more streamlined process for facility issues. Those are the kinds of concerns unions are built to address. Now, could there be a different kind of organization in which employees participate? Sure, but the union is a tried and true format, and it's something that is effective, that has a long history of getting us things from weekends to paid leave to security in buildings when we need it. Standing here on the other side of receiving professional mental health care, I know how hard this job is, and I understand, and I'm so grateful that they're banding together. One of the things I didn't even realize, Commissioner, we gave a cost of living adjustment to all of our Harris County workers. These folks in the front lines of the mental health crisis that's exacerbated by COVID, they didn't get that cost of living adjustment. That didn't even get to us. I had no idea until today when I was reading the background information as one of the reasons that they're organizing is so that they can also receive the cost of living adjustment that the rest of the county employees have gotten. So that's the kind of thing, it just wouldn't have come to us. And it didn't come to us without this union organizing. And so, as part of that, obviously the Harris Center CEO management is going to have a lot to do with the union. After this group, they're going to deliver the signatures today to management, and then the board will meet to approve the formation, hopefully to approve the formation of the union. We've given the board a heads up that this is coming. Commissioner Ellis and I are about to go visit with the CEO, Wayne Young. We've had very productive conversations with his team already. And we were talking about this yesterday. It's rare for an employer to say, yay, union, but I really believe that this is best for everybody involved, for management to hear about concerns in a streamlined way and in the way that the employees want to share them, for employees to be able to have a unified voice, and for patients to have workers that are going to stay in the job, that are going to help make sure that they have the conditions to provide the best care that they can provide. We have a challenge. We have a lack of mental health professionals as a country. Okay, the last thing we need is for our mental health professionals to not be feeling well, to not feel supported, to not feel safe. And so I'm very happy to be standing with them. I'm going to chat with the CEO next and really encourage both sides to make this amicable, productive, forward-looking conversation, and so we can continue to build a much stronger mental health system, because we sure know we need a stronger, even stronger one with all the challenges. So let me just repeat in Spanish and then I'll pass it on to Commissioner Ellis. Me enorgullece mucho estar aquí el día de hoy. He conocido ahora una señora que trabaja ofreciendo terapia a niños pequeños, también una señora que se encarga de aquellos pacientes que llegan en momento de crisis, después de intentar un suicidio de repente, y también alguien que se encarga de transferir a pacientes de lugar a lugar. Esas son personas que yo encontré cuando estuve hospitalizada, ahorita en el otoño. Entonces, para mí es casi emocional y súper importante pues ver a todos estos profesionales aquí diciendo, miren, nos gustaría organizar un sindicato, tenemos retos que queremos abordar con el liderazgo del Harris Center. El Harris Center es nuestra agencia de servicios de salud mental. Entonces, ¿de qué se trata un sindicato en la agencia de salud mental? Bueno, en Texas no se permite que este tipo de sindicatos trabajen en el arbitraje o ni siquiera que hagan huelga. Entonces no van a ver a esos trabajadores de salud mental en huelga. ¿Qué sí se va a ver? Bueno, que ahora los trabajadores pueden unirse todos y con una sola voz expresar los retos que enfrentan y lo que les gustaría ver. Por ejemplo, en Austin se creó un sindicato igual para los trabajadores de salud mental. Allí trabajaron, pues acudieron a su administración con preocupaciones de seguridad. Terminaron contratando a un guardia de seguridad y un empleado de recepción. Hubieron problemas con el proceso para reportar problemas en las instalaciones. Entonces trabajaron con el liderazgo también para atacar ese tema. El formato sindical es un formato probado y comprobado, entonces por eso también apoyo a esta organización, al sindicato que se está creando. Un último punto, en el condado, en el último presupuesto, le subimos el salario a todos los empleados del condado. ¿Por qué? Por el tema de la inflación. Entonces subimos un cierto porcentaje. Estos empleados no recibieron ese salario adicional y yo ni siquiera me enteré hasta el día de hoy que venía aquí. Les pregunté exactamente por qué están organizando este sindicato y me dijeron, esa es una de las razones. Entonces aquí se demuestra nuevamente que el tener el sindicato nos ayuda a saber cuáles son las preocupaciones que tienen los trabajadores. Estos trabajadores son escasos. En el país se necesitan muchísimos más trabajadores de salud mental. Tenemos una crisis en cuanto a la salud mental, las adicciones, más aún con el COVID. Entonces, queremos que esos trabajadores estén contentos, que no vayan a renunciar y que puedan proveer el mejor servicio a sus pacientes. Entonces, les agradezco. Ahorita vamos a hablar con el presidente, con el CEO de la organización, también hemos estado en contacto con él y no quiero que esto sea una confrontación, sino más bien un trabajo de mano a mano para avanzar los derechos de los pacientes, de los empleados y también la eficiencia del liderazgo. Okay, I'll pass it on to Commissioner Ellis.
First, I want to thank Judge Lena Hidalgo for being out here and for sharing her story. I think that her story about dealing with mental health challenges has done a lot to open the door for other people who need help to go and get it. I also want to tell you all that I'm going to loan you, not give you one of my portable podiums. I'm going to loan that to the union, but you can't keep it now. You have to use it. It does have my name on it, so you may decide not to use it. I want to thank you all, particularly the Harris Health employees who were bold enough to go out and help organize this union. I want to thank Derek Osabase, Madam President, and all of the CWA leaders. Some of them, Judge Hidalgo, came to see me, I don't know, some months back. And they said they felt as though some of the people who were organizing felt as though those employees, were being a bit ostracized by raising the issue. I want to say to you, that's probably normal for most people in management to be a little concerned, and they would like to think if you have a problem, you just take it to them. To the extent I'm in management, usually I feel that way too. But let me tell you, the reality is it does not work that way. Usually the person who gets the promotion first, the person who gets the advancement, who might get the better office, is not necessarily the one who walks in and says, Rodney, I think I have a better way that you can do this. Anybody in any organization knows the notion of collective voices is one that always makes sense. Unions have been an important part of the struggle for justice and equity throughout the history of America. They were also important to help advance the civil rights movement. Many of the rights that I have today, that Judge Hidalgo has today, most of us in our society have today, in part or because of a combination of activism, and unions were a big part of that. When I was asked whether or not I would do a simple letter by some of your leaders and those employees who were sharing their stories with me, I said, I'll write a letter to our friends here at the center, but instead of doing that, why don't I just put a resolution on the Commissioner's Court? I'm very pleased that Judge Hidalgo and two of our other colleagues on Commissioner's Court voted. You ought to pull the language. It simply says, within the bounds of what the laws of Texas permit, we think you should have a right to unionize. I think that this is a tremendous effort. I'm hopeful that the leadership here will do what that board has the ability to do, to recognize the rights that you have under the law, to have someone represent you on issues that you care about. So I'm encouraged by what you have done. I would encourage other employees. I've said it privately. I've put it in writing. I think I've even posted something on social media. I think it's a good idea for county employees. We were willing to give a cost of living adjustment to some of the employees at Harris County. As the judge said, we didn't know the way it works that did not apply to you until this issue came up and we were deciding to come out here for this event. It says a lot that you would have the county judge, the county executive of this county to come out and say it's a good thing that you're doing. I think it says to the appointees on the board and our leadership here, we believe in the power of unions to change work habits, to make it easier for people to advocate for issues that make it a much better workplace, and hopefully an even much more productive workplace than the great work that they do today. So thank you. Now we're going to go up and meet with Mr. Young, and I know you all are going to have a meeting later today. I'm told that it won't be confrontational. That's a good thing. But I also know the history of unions. You know that there's a time to be polite and have a kumbaya moment. But when you disagree, you know when it's time to stand up for the rights of workers. So thank you. We appreciate you and what you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Ellis and Judge Hidalgo, for y'all's support, for your words, for everything. So thank y'all, and for your continued advocacy for workers at Harris Center and for the community. I'd now like to introduce organizing committee member Kevin Higgins, who's also a Harris Center employee, with the Neuropsychiatric Center, a hospital transfer coordinator.